going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to I'm sorry. We're here to talk about some Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 and the beta, or the demo, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just here to show you guys some gameplay, talk about some of the things that I've been seeing compared to the last Plants vs. Zombies game. Now, once I loaded the game up, I actually spawned up as a sunflower. I had to work my way to this kind of central hub area where there's plants and there's zombies and there's like a central neutral mode, right? So you can walk around each hub, you can switch sides, you can be a plant or a zombie, and each side has its own things within their little compounds. But basically, you can walk around, you can look at your stats, leaderboards, you can go into split screen to play with a friend locally, or you can get your party together and then join a multiplayer game from inside of the hub. You can customize your class, you can also switch your class, you can change things up. The central hub is just ultimately the place to pre-prep for whatever you're going to be doing, whether you want to customize and then go into a horde mode, which has a 4-player co-op mode, which is a horde mode, which you guys have to survive a certain amount of waves or against a certain the onslaught of whatever your opposition is. Now the beta, as far as the multiplayer goes, has a couple of game modes. There was one that was more objective based, whereas the one that I played was more team deathmatch, just kill the opposition. So that's the one that I joined into. I noticed that they added 3 new classes to each faction. So plants, for example, get Colonel Corn. He's like this badass damage dealer. He's just this corn on a cob looking ass, and he shoots corn at people. He can also drop like these butter bombs. And also on the zombie side of things, you have, for example, the Imp, which is pretty much Titanfall. Like, he calls in this big mech and you can walk around in this big mech suit. He also does like these little spins with his guns. There's some really cool additions to each faction side, and I really like the variation between the new classes that they added into each faction. You know, there's one that's like a big ass grapefruit or an orange or whatever he is, and he's like a brute, but he could turn into like a big ball and roll around. There's a lot of variation between all of the classes, as well as the original ones that were in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1, so you'll be seeing those make a return, but also 3 new classes for each side. So there's actually a lot more variety this time around in classes to choose from. Now notice that they stepped up the graphics just a tiny bit, but it doesn't make a visual impact at all. You can kind of tell that they put a little bit more into it, but graphically, it's pretty much the same thing. And also, the gameplay is very, very similar to Garden Warfare 1. I think they took the model of whatever isn't broke, don't fix it type of thing, and it works really well. Each class feels different, it plays different, it has a different role or a different purpose on the battlefield, and you can really feel that in the gameplay. But ultimately, the graphics and the gameplay are pretty much the same experience that we got on Garden Warfare 1, just with new features and subtle touches picked up in each area. But overall, I'm really having a lot of fun with the beta. It lasts for a few more days on the PlayStation 4 and I think the Xbox One, so if you have not tried it out already, please, I implore you, go download it, try it out, jump in with your friends, and have some fun. Garden Warfare 2 is looking to be the first great, fun, just action-packed multiplayer shooter in 2016, but you can tell already that there's a lot of stuff to be unlocked, a lot of game modes to jump into with your friends, and it looks like just a load of fun, and ultimately that's what it feels like, and ultimately that's the goal of gaming, is to just have some fun. Be on the lookout for a full review of the game, as well as some gameplay, some live streams. And speaking of live streams, thank you guys all so much for supporting the live streams. We've been live like three days in a row now. After this video is uploaded, I will be live streaming and playing some games, chatting with you guys again. Usually I go 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's West Coast in the United States. Be on the lookout if you are not already, but thank you guys all so much for watching this episode of MavAttack. Just some quick thoughts and impressions of the beta. I hope you guys appreciated the video. Be on the lookout for this one. If you really like fun games, this is going to be a really fun game. But all you hear Mav stay rad, and all you see Mav stay fab. Attack that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of MavAttack. Motherfucker.
Welcome back. Tune in to MavAttack.